Hello and welcome to the Apex Racing League British GT Championship live on Apex Racing TV. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick and alongside me this evening is Ryan Walker in the commentary booth with Marco Barbinet on the cameras, and we are here at Spa in Belgium, of course, for round 5 out of 6 in this championship. And Ryan, a little bit of a unique championship this with the length of the season. Only 6 rounds, not the 12 rounds that we usually get in championships. But I feel as though we know these drivers so well already. We know there's so many rivalries out there. The drivers know one another really well. And already this has a really nice feel about this league, and a lot of excitement around this absolutely legendary track.
Yeah, absolutely. Good evening, Sam. Good evening, everyone. Spa, absolutely fantastic track, and from real life as well. That we know it hosts a round of the British GT as kind of a practice race for the 24 hours of Spa that takes place in real life. And as you say, Sam, this series has been producing great rivalries as well throughout the field in the GT3s and the Porsches as well. So I think, looking forward to seeing some great racing here this evening.
Absolutely. We were a little bit late to come on air, but qualifying has just completed, so we can go through the grid. And it's Jackie Lotzman coming back after 1 week out. Great to see him back. He's on pole position ahead of Martin van Loosnod. Michael Dreschler starts in 3rd place. Tom McMahon, big lead in the championship. He starts 4th. He just needs some good, solid finishes to secure that championship. Gregory Vrank starts in 5th with Andrew Brown 2nd in the championship. He starts in 6th. Then it's Martin Tilgard, Ben Gregory, Jesper Lind, Ben Galite, Thiago Loureiro. I could see him out there for the first time. Ole Christian Unberg, James Salt, Rafe Carnan, Rob Thiessen, James Underhill, and Alexander Arneson. The drivers who didn't set times were Jonathan Stegers and Pim Bow. In the Porsche category, we got Nick Madsen, championship leader, on pole position. Him and Brendan Cronin have had so many classic duels so far this season. It's very close in the championship between those two. They start on the front row of the grid alongside one another. Austin Havia starts in 3rd place with Tim Claessens alongside him. Then it's Vince Kern, Taj Edwards, Tor Bourbon, Steve Clays, Harold Stedler, Lewis Ward, Ronald Moons, David Baraclough, and Sam Kumo. Fantastic to see so many Porsches out there. 13 Porsches. Initially it was very much skewed to the GT3s, but the GT3 entries have kind of gone down a little bit as the season's gone on. But these Porsche drivers have really stuck with it, and anyone who's watching back, do super appreciate your attendance for putting on such a great show for us in the commentary box. So Ryan, a little bit of a lot of familiar faces at the front of this GT field, but Tom McMahon has won the last 4 consecutive races, or at least has finished in the top 2 places in the past 4 consecutive races. But he's got some very quick drivers ahead of him in that GT3 category. Will be very interesting to see who can win out of Lotzman and Van Loosnod on the front row.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom McMahon's probably, for me anyway, at the moment, the man in form. And also Jackie Lottman and Martin Van Loosnod, you can never rule them out in the GT3 class. So it'll be interesting to see out of these 3 who'll win this first race of the evening. So also in the Porsche Cup class as well, Nick Madsen and Brendan Cronin, as you say, Sam, have been having a good battle this season so far. So keep an eye on those guys.
Absolutely, will be very close in that Porsche category. Not usually easy to overtake in the Porsche category, but this is by far the most expansive circuit where you visit all season. So could have a little bit of a mix-up with the overtaking. Could be a lot of action. It's going to be a 20-minute race now, then a reverse grid, then 40 minutes for race 2. Race 1, though, is about to get underway. The green flag is out, and away we go for 20 minutes of racing. Fantastic start straight away. Dreschler getting straight ahead of Van Loosnod. He has to slot back into 3rd position. A little bit of side-by-side just behind. Brown gets ahead of Vranksy, then responds. 2 places going for Jesper Lind. Great start for him. Still a little bit of side-by-side between Brown and Vranksy. Madsen comes round the final corner. He left a big gap. He's waiting to put the power on. Is he put the power on yet? They're all lining up. Now he goes, and it's a decent start for the TechSense Pitstone Motorsport driver. Pulls away from Brendan Cronin, Austin Havia. You doubt those two are going to make too much contact. You got a Torque Freak driver just on the inside going into La Source, gaining a place there. Then was Tim Claessens straight up into 3rd place, as almost going for a move there, and then it is going for a move. Michael Dreschler Jackie Lotzman loses that position then. So Dressler, as
Oh,
Lotzman goes back down the inside, he saw half a
oh,
chance. Now
contact.
there's going to be contact between the two of them. Here comes Van Loosenod, but the circuit's just not wide enough for him to make it 3 wide. Down the inside again goes Lotzman, and that is really good retaliation. Definitely an aggressive move coming out of Lekum, but he pulled it off and he maintains that lead.
Yeah, I have to say that was a fantastic move from Jackie Lotterman. He never gave up. Michael went by, but Jackie didn't want to back out of it, and yeah, probably took some Dutch courage, no pun intended.
Absolutely. And he's held on for now across the slipstream plate. Quite strong around this place. Not too strong in these GT3 cars, but imagine those top guys to stay quite close to one another. Yeah, Madsen, 6 tenths of a second ahead of Brendan Cronin. Tim Clarson's good to see him back in third place. This is what happened to Taj Edwards then. Side by side with Ferenc Kern, I guess that is in the Apex Racing UK livery. Oh,
Oh,
and actually it was the rev match driver who made contact with Taj Edwards, who goes spinning out. I can only imagine that was Steve Clays then, car number 3, who made that contact. Make your own decisions on whose fault that was. If they protest it, I will have to make a decision on whose fault that was. Or maybe it was no one's fault. Maybe it was a racing incident. Maybe we'll see post-race.
absolutely. Yeah, just looking back up in the GT3s as well. Looking up at Martin Van Loozenhoord as well, and he's right behind Michael Dressler. And yeah, just looking at Jackie Lotterman as well, it looks like he's slowly building up a little bit of a gap. But these guys are still, yeah, with just because of the long straight, Sam. Just around this track, even if you're not quick, but if you're stuck in the slipstream of the cars in front of you, you can always keep up with them. And Spa is one of those tracks where a slipstream seems to be a bit of an advantage around here.
Definitely is so. And Dressler really getting close. That is some terrific straight line speed
Oh,
for the Mercedes. Goes down the inside again. Managed to
oh,
retaliate
contact!
last time, and that's going to be a slowdown as well. Comes back
Oh,
onto the circuit a little bit dangerously, does Lotzman. We're going to have 3 widers through. Into the lead goes Martin Van Loosenod, and Lotzman off the circuit. He's going to lose a few more places having to serve that slowdown. Here comes McMahon, and talk about him getting 5 consecutive top 2 finishes going into this round. Well, you know what? I think it may well be 6 consecutive because he's up into second place now. Lotzman does well only to drop down to 4th place. But I mean, that time, second go at having that attempt run, Dressler went down the inside, and yeah, all hell broke loose after that.
yeah, just I think just looking back at the replay now to see what happened between Dressler and Lotterman, and it looks like Dressler went up the inside and went for a move up the inside of Lotterman, and slightly nods Lotterman, who came back on the track, and forced Dressler to take evasive action, and in return, that gave Martin Van Loozenhoord the chance to take the lead, and yeah, kind of said thanks guys, I'll take that position.
Absolutely, into the lead, and McMahon following through as well, gaining a couple of places in all of that. So we'll keep an eye on that, but Van Leesman, I can update you, has a 1.3-second lead. They're all fighting behind whilst he just pulls away. Nick Madsen still leading the way in the Porsche category, but look how close this is. So many respected drivers, very familiar names. Anyone who's facing the DGFX space, all these teams have taken part in DGFX in recent years at least. And Top Freak and particularly Geodesica as well, are very accomplished in that championship, and I'm sure many other championships, but at least that's where I'm familiar with them. Madsen, though, having to defend surely against Cronin, who's really closing in. Is he going to go for a move into Blanchimont? Would be a brave man to do so, and probably a slightly not so clever one as well. But Madsen will have to go defensive again into the chicane, which of course is not a bus stop anymore. Round the
Oh,
outside goes a geodesic racing driver. Can he get the inside for the second part? Madsen left a little bit of space on the inside there, but just not enough space for Cronin to go for the move. Meanwhile, Dressler and McMahon are going side by side. This must be going into Lekum. They are now going through Lekum, and still the Uber SR driver stays ahead. Here comes Lotzeman, though. He's going to move back up into third place. And I mean, Michael Dressler, hang up your gloves because this is not your day.
yeah, absolutely. These guys fighting here is these guys fighting is just giving Martin Van Loozenhoord a chance to just build his gap even further. And yeah, these guys behind him, McMahon, Lotterman, Dressler, and it looks like Andrew Brown are just battling away with each other. And looking at the cars at the moment, it's about a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 or 7 car pack.
Oh,
Oh,
and that's
contact!
contact into the wall goes Clarson's. And, well, that was Hamilton Kobayashi 2011, I think. But this time, it was 3 wide going into that corner. And contact amongst all of them. Lotsman up into second place now, but certainly getting caught up there was Klaassen. So Madsen with a bit of a gap now in the Porsche lead. Cronin in second place, and Havas moves up into third. We'll try to get a replay of that, if not now, but so maybe after the race as well, if we can't get it up right now. But yeah, a lot of action going on up and down the field, particularly at the front of each class. Lotsman still under big pressure, and this is getting a little bit personal now amongst these drivers because they really haven't been hanging off too much. Brown trying to get past Dreschler now as well. But whatever's going on, Martin Van Liesnold pulling away, and it looks like this could be his first race victory since Silverstone in round 1 of the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a bit of a, it's been a, yeah. After Silverstone, it's been a bit of a up and down season for Martin. He seems to have the pace, but just can't seem to get any lift in the races, and just being caught up in other incidents with other drivers, or just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And yeah, we ride on board in the rear of Jackie Lotterman coming through. I think that was Radio or yeah, well, Rizai getting mixed up that corner, but yeah, behind Lotterman, it seems to be Dressler and McMahon battling for P3.
Yeah, Dreschler going straight past McMahon. So after Tom moved up into second place when Lotzman and Dreschler came together, he moved up into second place, back down into fourth place though, but staying very responsible is Tom McMahon. He has had a superb championship, and like I said, right at the top of the race, he just needs some solid finishes to win the championship from this point. Bit of a shame that we haven't seen a more a tighter battle at the front of that championship, but you look at many of the drivers, and they have just had such issues so far. Hal Stadler going side by side. He's trying to make up a move. This is on Ronald Moons. Moons up 5 places from his start. Side by side going into Eau Rouge. This is quite bold, and that's the wise thing there, does the Race Masters esports driver of Moons to back out of that move from Stadler, who is still behind Clay's actually. So Clay's crashed. Oh, sorry, no, it was Clarson's, apologies. He crashed, of course. He is right at the rear, but he should stay on the lead lap, which will mean he'll be eligible for the reverse grid, which could be very important. Here's Barracloud going side by side now, trying to get past Lewis Ward. Ward, though, staying ahead for Alpine Sim Sports, ahead of the Talk Freak Racing driver. And he'll hang on for that for a bit longer.
Yeah, absolutely. Is yeah, just looking at looking at Tim Clarson's at the moment, and it looks like he's as he gets sideways head into the pit lane. Yeah, looking at a replay of Tim Clarson's going 3 wide with 2 other cars, and just looking to see what happened. Oh, this was the incident, and yeah, just looks like the car that was in the middle just slightly turned and spun Tim around, which was unfortunate. By I think Tim's managed to get going again, and yeah, it was just one of those. I think it was just a racing incident with a free and yeah, or basically 3 wide just doesn't work.
Yes, so it reminds me of Turkey 2010 in Formula 1 between Webber and Vettel. Who turned into who? I think there was, I mean, still that debate is going on. Although I think it's quite obvious who did turn into who on that occasion. But yeah, always very difficult in those situations when you approach the braking points, especially in these Porsche cars, which really do move under braking. Really not the best braking system. They don't have ABS, of course. They are quite a handful, to say the least. But I was doing a few laps in the Porsche Cup car around here, and it is a lot of fun, as is most circuits on the Porsche Cup car, because it is the second best car in all of iRacing, of course. Some people will disagree with me with that, of course, but I guess those people are wrong, clearly. Gregory Franks chasing down Ben Gregory. Currently, he's up 2 places. Actually, for Pim Bao, he's off the circuit. He had a good run, actually, Pim Bao, for Rev Match Racing Esports, of course, but he has dropped back down into 16th place. He was running as high as 12th after starting in 18th because he didn't set a qualifying time. So disappointing there for Pim Bao.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, he was having a good run as well, and yeah, it looks like he might have had some issues, and they
Also,
just
Ryan, there's a change of position for the lead in the Porsche category. I just quickly looked down at my timing screen, and all of a sudden, Brendan Koenig is actually in the race lead. Here he goes past Nick Madsen. Can Madsen defend? We've seen this battle a few times this season, and usually on the balance, it's been Madsen who's come out on top. Will he come
oh
out on top this time? Into no name corner. Deep on the brakes goes Cronin, and he does get ahead. Brilliant move there from Brendan Cronin, and it's 2v1 between Geodesic and Fitstone Motorsports. It's a Fitstone Motorsports sandwich currently, where the geodesic cars are the bread, of course. And disappointing there for Madsen. He's lost the race lead, but oh dear, Lorea on his debut has had a bit of a crash for Evo Sim Racing.
yeah, it looks like he might have just looks like he might have just lost it in the exit of I think it's Blanchimont. So yeah, I think he might have ran wide and maybe took too much of the exit. Oh, he just lost it in the middle of Blanchimont. And I believe that was one of the Team Viking cars involved as well. That
Must have been
was
Unberg, I can only imagine.
yeah, I think it was a
Oh, contact between Lotterman and almost hitting the wall there was Dreschler. I mean, those two are not going to be sending any Christmas or Easter cards. Dreschler off the circuit again, pick up a slowdown as well. I mean, I was saying hang up your gloves earlier on in the race because things aren't going to go your way. And I mean, once again, really unfortunate there. But those two already making contact 3 times in this race, and we haven't been going for a whole long. Hervias, what a great performance from Hervias. I mean, he's keeping up with these tops. He usually is a little bit distant, but he's well on Nick Madsen's tail. And whilst these two fights, Brendan Koenig can just pull away.
yeah, it was good to see Austin Hervias is one of those drivers. He's probably not as quick as Nick Madsen or Brendan Cronin, but yeah, he's one of those drivers that always seems to be consistent and get results when he needs to get them, and get results when he needs them. And yeah, at the moment he's keeping up with Brendan Cronin or yeah Nick Madsen and Brendan Cronin as Madsen goes defensive, heading down on the entry of his corner. As Madsen gets a bit sideways in the middle of the corner, but manages to hold on to it.
Hervias thinking of the sneaky move on the entry of, the exit of Lecum, but decided to back out of it. Is this Rivage? Might be Rivage. There's a lot of different names for these corners. Brussels, apparently. I think that's the new name for it, but I think it used to be called something else. But yeah, there's a decent video with Will Buxton actually on the F1 YouTube channel where he goes through all the different corner names and all the misconceptions of these corner names. Pretty much all of them have been renamed at one point or another. Ben Gregory having to defend from Gregory Banks, or has he just made that move? He was ahead across the line, I can tell you that. So, yes, I think he is defending at the moment from the Sim Racers World driver, who, of course, raced around this track in the Sim Racers World GT series on Wednesday on the iRacing Esports Network. By the way, certainly do subscribe to the iRacing Esports Network because we're going to be broadcasting on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on that channel. So certainly do recommend it. Side by side, Dreschler moving back up again. You cannot put this guy down. He's back up into 4th place. McMahon, he's just got past. Oh, sorry, no, apologies. So Dreschler trying to get up into 3rd place. Apologies. Brown in 3rd, Dreschler in 4th, and McMahon dropping to 5th.
Yeah, just look at Martin Thielgaard at the moment, and looks like he might have had some issues on the exit of the Blanchimont. Yeah, just lost it in the curb. Just lost it in the curb on the exit of the corner, and just got sideways and clipped the wall and got some rear wing damage.
So I've seen a few retirements so far in this race. Lorio, Baraclow, Clarsons, Teelgaard, Edwards, and Stagers, who didn't take the start, to be fair. So plenty of casualties out there. As Andrew Brown defending against from Michael Dreschler, Grip TV, of course. Represented very well on the side of his car. You mean you're not going to mistake it by any means. Still haven't realised who Grip TV are. I don't know if they are an Apex Racing TV rival. But I will have to investigate that before we go to the reverse grid wheel, of course, to decide how harsh we are going to be on him. He's doing a good job at the moment of staying in 3rd place of course. Dreschler, well, we look to the outside, might go to the inside. Lotzman well ahead of these guys now, so it's unlikely that we're going to have a fourth collision between Lotzman and Dreschler, but I wouldn't bet against it perhaps in race 2. At the moment, Dreschler cannot do anything. Salt and Lind going side by side. Salt round the outside. That's a very good move round the chicane. But leaves a little bit of extra room for Lind on the exit. That was very generous of him to do so. And unfortunately for him, it might yield a position loss because into La Source, Lind going down the inside. He could track extend a little bit on the outside. These guys very courteous of one another. They're leaving plenty of room for each other on the track. A little bit of that could have been used at the F1 race today, it must be said, where drivers weren't exactly leaving a track width for other cars around the circuit. But good to see these guys very polite to one another, and this battle will resume down the Kemmel Straight.
Absolutely, as it looks like Lynn's got a run, I think, but yeah, can't get by. Oh, yeah, gets a little bit sideways, but yeah, back up at the front as well. Yeah, Andrew Brown tries to get a. Sorry about that. So I thought someone was walking into my room there.
Understandable. I mean, hopefully it's not someone with a knife or an axe or whatever. Otherwise, that would thoroughly disorganize this broadcast. Uh, yeah, McMahon though. So he just got ahead of Brown. So McMahon got ahead of Brown and up into 4th place then. So Tom McMahon, I mean, he's overtaken a few guys. He's been overtaken several times. It's been an up and down race, considering that he has pretty much just been out in the lead challenged, but just pretty much not having many overtakes for this entire season, getting in those first and second places, scoring lots of points. But today, a little bit more difficulty for him. Of course, it's, like I said earlier on, by far the most tight and twisted circuit. Is this the end of the race? No, it's not. So we've still got 2 more minutes to go. This will be the last lap, though. It will be for Martin Van Liesnout.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a pretty much a faultless race from Martin at the moment. He's managed to pull away from everyone behind, pull away from the cars behind. While they've been having their own issues or having their own battles, and just it's allowed Martin to pull away and build up a bit of a gap. And as well back at the Porsches as well, on board with Steve Clays. He's trying to, I think he's trying to get by Lewis Ward in front of him for trying to pick up P5. So. Yeah, at the moment in the Porsches, it's still Cronin, Madsen, and Havias in the top 3. And yeah, it's been in the Porsches. It's been a good race as always. Yeah, as always, been great to watch.
Oh, Gregory versus Ranks. Ranks gets to the inside. Nicely done from the Sim Racers World driver. But Gregory will try to stick it around the outside, though, going into Lake Coon. That would have been brave. And in the end, just getting a little bit forced out, flashing the headlights, making his feelings towards that move very clear. But now he's got to set his attention to behind him, not in front, because he's having to defend from Ben Galite. Good to see Ben doing well there. That might be the highest result for him, and probably the most amount of points that the 2 Bens would have scored this season combined. I'm not quite sure about that. We've got 2 Bens actually in 7th and 8th, and then 2 Jameses in 9th and 10th, which is, I mean, absolutely fantastic, I must say. I mean, that's a win for everyone, no doubt. Oh, wow. So that is incredible. So we got Gregory. Wow. So, I mean, yeah, terrific. Gregory Franks and Ben Gregory. I mean, oh, that is stunning. I mean, we're all winners on Apex Racing TV tonight, no doubt about that. But I think this man is going to be a winner more than anyone else because he's 2.5 seconds ahead. Martin Van Liesnout. By the way, he did win the race in the Sim Racers World GT Championship round this track on Wednesday in dominant fashion. It's not been quite as dominant as that in race 1. I'm sure it won't be an easy race 2. But Martin Van Liesnout, for the first time since race 2 at Silverstone, wins in the Apex Racing League British GT Championship. That was just what he needed. to really get his championship back on the right course. He beats Jackie Lotzman. Michael Dreschler, fantastic resilience from him to keep from coming back. He finishes on the podium. Out in the lead of the Porsches, though, it's Brendan Cronin. I will just tell you who has won races out of these drivers so far this season. So from the start of the season, this is the order of the race winners: Madsen, Cronin, Madsen, Cronin, Madsen, Cronin. And it looks like it's going to be another Cronin. So that they have absolutely dominated this championship. And he's only a third of a lap away from closing in that championship lead that Nick Madsen currently holds, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. I think at the moment the championship in the Porsches is probably going to be between basically Brendan Cronin and Nick Madsen, and I think I'm not sure who I'd bet my money on to win the championship in that class, but I'm not sure, but yeah, it's been a good fight between both of them this season so far, and there's been nothing really to separate them.
That's certainly, claiming back some good points for Brendan Cronin. Of course, we also have incident points, which will be very relevant around this circuit. If you get 10 instants, then you get 3 penalty points. If you get no instants, you get a bonus point. But for Brendan Cronin, I don't think he'll care about that too much right now because he's rounding the final chicane and he is going to take race 1 here at Spa in the Porsche Cup category. Fantastic job there from Brendan Cronin. Was in a deep battle for second place for much of the race, but managed to catch and pass Nick Madsen and pull away after that. Really strong for him. Havias finishes in third. Tor Bourbon, good result for him. Fourth place. I believe he may have got a fourth at Snetterton last week as well. So good run of form for him. A little bit separated in the end, these Porsches, but it's great to see so many of them. And I'm sure we are going to see a very good race too. Could we see the first non-Madsen Cronin winner, perhaps, of the season? If we get a big reverse grid, that could be the case. We are going to find out what the reverse grid is very soon. This is what happened to Kumo then, just at the end. And are we going to embarrass him a little bit here? I've just lost footage, so I don't quite know what happened there. But I'm sure you all saw it at home. Anyway, with the results, I will go through them now. Martin van Liesnold wins out 3 seconds ahead of Jackie Lotzman. Michael Dreschler rounds out the podium. Tom McMahon finishes in 4th place ahead of Andrew Brown, his nearest championship rival, of course. Gregory Ranks finished in 6th place with Benjamin Gregory. I mean, fantastic. The two Gregorys. I mean, if it was Benjamin Gregory followed by Gregory Ranks, that'd be even better. But I mean, I'm not complaining. It is fantastic. Then we got another Ben in Galite, and then we got 2 Jameses, James Salt and James Underhill. Then it's Jesper Lind, Rob Thiessen, Rafe Cullinan, Pim Bao, Ole Christian Unberg, and Alexander Arneson. He was the last of the GT3 finishers, and the last of the drivers who will be eligible for the first grid as well. Tiago Loureiro, Martin Tilgard, and Jonathan Stegers didn't finish. In the Porsche category, Brendan Cronin wins out ahead of Nick Madsen by about 2.5 seconds. Austin Havias rounds out the podium. There's Tor Bourbon, Lewis Ward, Steve Clays, Hal Stadler, Ronald Moons, Fritz Kern, and Sam Kumo, who was 1 lap down on the overall leader, but he will be eligible for the reverse grid because he finished within 2 laps of, or he finished either 0 or 1 laps down on the Porsche leader. So that's what matters. So everyone apart from David Badclough, Tim Clarsons, and Taj Edwards will be eligible for the reverse grid in that class. So Marco, time for the 2 reverse grid wheels for tonight's action.
Yes, absolutely. Hello, everyone. Hello, Sam and Ryan. Yes, I was looking for Samuli, and now I know where he was because he disappeared, no? But yeah, because he parked the car, he finished the race just after. And now that I think about it, he was passed by Van Loosener towards the very end of the race, so that's why I thought he crashed or something. But no, Samuli never crashes, as you know.
No.
The wheels should be on your screen right now, so let's roll them. Okay, no difficult calculations tonight. 14 for the GT3s and 8 for the Cup cars.
So that will mean that Pim Bao will be on pole position in the GT3 class. Unberg and Arneson miss out there. And 8 in the Porsches. That means Cronin, Madsen, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Ronald Moons will be on pole position. Yeah, finished 8th place in that race. Vince Kern misses out, unfortunately for him, but yeah, it'll be Means and Stadler on the front row of the grid in the Porsche category for race 2. Of course, double the length, 40 minutes. You do not want to miss it around this Spa-Francorchamps circuit. We'll be back in about 20 minutes' time for race 2 of the evening. Welcome back to the Apex Racing League British GT Championship live on Apex Racing TV. Once again, I'm Sam Fitzpatrick, and once again alongside me in the commentary box is Ryan Walker, and of course on the cameras is Marco Barbanir, and we are just gridding up for race 2 of the evening. Race 1, 20 minutes, it was a lot of action. 40 minutes this one, with a reverse grid as well for both classes. It could be very action-packed. Due to a 14-car reverse grid, so as I set the session up right, Pim Bow will be on the pole position. Rick Cannon alongside him on the front row of the grid. Next, Rob Thiessen, Jesper Lind, James Underhill, James Salt, Ben Galite, Ben Gregory, Gregory Vranks, Andrew Brown, Tom McMahon, Michael Dreschler, Jackie Lotzman, and race 1 winner Martin Van Liesner. Behind that is Eli Christian Unberg, Thiago Loureiro, and Martin Thielgaard. At the top of the Porsche category, we got Ronald Moons. Then it's alongside him on the front row is Hal Stadler. Behind that it's Steve Place, Lewis Ward, Tor Bourbon, Austin Havias, Nick Madsen, and race 1 winner Brendan Cronin. Then it's Brent Kern, Sam Kumo, David Badclow, Tim Claessens, and Taj Edwards. So far this season, Ryan, we've seen the race 2s even more action-packed than the race 1s. I mean, if race 2 is going to be more action-packed than the race 1 we just saw, we are in for a treat here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. As proved in the previous rounds this season so far in the reverse grids, I say the reverse grids always seem to provide great racing with watching the quick guys trying to get through from the back of the field in their class to getting it to the front. But yeah, some of these I wouldn't say slower drivers, but not so quick drivers always seem to spring a surprise in these reverse grid races, and I think it might happen again here tonight.
We certainly hope so. Pim Bow then, for Rev Match Racing Esports. So Rev Match Racing Esports driver won race 1, of course, in the form of Martin Van Liesner. Can he back that up with a race win for himself? Seen a few different race winners so far this season. We saw Ben Gregory win race 2 last time. What can Bow do? What can Cullinan do in his BMW? They round the final chicane, and they are about to get underway. The green flag is now out. A little bit of a difficult start there for the drivers, and I think it might help some of the midfield drivers come up. You can see how Cullinan is straight away being swamped by the rest of the field. Straight away into the leaders, Jesper Lind round the outside. Can he make that move? The two matched racing drivers get caught up amongst each other. James Salt, I think, will go through as well, as Van Loosen on his back in the background there. Also getting a bit of a bad start is Ben Gregory and Brown. Also Cullinan losing 7 places. Bow down 8 places. Dreschler is up 8 places.
Contact!
As into the wall there is James Underhill. A massive impact straight away for him. He crashed into Ben Galite, I can only imagine that is, as the drivers trying to sort one another out. Ronald Moon still leading the way in the Porsche category. Hal Stadler in second, then Steve Place, Lewis Ward, as they come up Eau Rouge for the first time and over radio. And good start for Havice. He's got past Bourbon. Ferenc Kern up a couple of places. In fact, Kern has got past Cronin. So great stuff for the Apex Racing UK driver. But I think it's going to be a long chase down up the hill of the Kemmel Straits, of course. Gregory, like I said, having an awful start. But it's Jesper Lind, then James Salt, then Michael Dreschler, the top 3 in the GT3 category.
Yeah, absolutely. As just looking at the start for the GT3 cars as well, coming into turn 1, and yeah, it looks like that was Martin. Yeah, it was Martin Van Loosener got tagged round by I believe that was Andreas Brown.
It certainly was. I really want, maybe later on in the broadcast, we could have an onboard video of, oh wow, so Underhill there just getting caught up by the drivers breaking into Eau Rouge, and had nowhere to go. Did the Phantom Sim Racing driver, thankfully. James Underhill still going. There is tyre barriers around there, so not quite as bad as some of the concrete barriers or the Armco we have around here. With Cullinan, though, an awful start for him, and I don't think it was really his fault. Oh wow, there was actually contact with him now right from the start. That might be 4x straight away for these guys, and you can just see the swamp of drivers and the BMW not having the best grunts. And I mean, he's fortunate not to get caught up in an instant, because this is the exact place where you don't want to be, being attacked from every side. and he did well not to get too much more contact. Also, we'll have to have an on-board with Michael Dreschler later on, perhaps, in the broadcast, because, I mean, he gained 9 places on the first third of a lap or so. Absolutely stunning. Jackie Lotzman's now up 9 places, and Gregory Frank has just gained a place as well, because they've just got past Rob Thiessen. Tom McMahon up 4 places into 7th, and Harold Stadler has taken the lead in the Porsche category. There's a lot of action, and we're struggling to keep up with all of it. We'll try our best, but they can see Harold Stadler leading the way for Texan Spitslide Motorsport.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, someone's off in the final corner. That was Lewis Ward. Not sure what happened to Lewis there. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, Harold Stadler has been having a good start to the race, and yeah, currently leading the Porsches at the moment as we go back to the Porsche Cup class as well. Or yeah, sorry Sam, my live time is just starting playing up, so I'll have to hand it over to you for a few minutes while I upload my live timing again.
Absolutely. Well, we were just watching a replay of Lewis Ward having a stopping out on circuit, so maybe a hardware issue. Certainly, if you're watching Lewis Ward, or maybe the Lewis Ward fan club, who are always very vocal, no doubt. Unfortunately, never talks to us, Lewis Ward, which is of great disappointment because his fan club love the sound of his voice, but we don't know what the sound of his voice is. Unfortunately, so hopefully, he'll have a chat with us maybe at the next round at Donington. Moving up a place was Steve Place. It's up in 2nd place now. As Michael Dreschler also just got past James Self, 2nd place in the GT3 category. Also side by side between Cronin and Hervias. Cronin with a decent start. I told you he got overtaken by Prince Kern. Kern had a brilliant start. I mean, we're going to have to, got a few onboards we're going to have to go back to, but I don't know what happened to Prince Kern. He managed to get past Nick Madsen and Brendan Cronin on the start, considering that those two are leading the championship and fighting for the championship. It was a quite spectacular start for the Apex Racing UK driver. Madsen, though, going into Puon gets back that position. Bates pointed out I couldn't remember that for a split second. Next up for Madsen will be Hervias. So remember, Hervias, Madsen, and Cronin were the 3 drivers fighting for the race win in race 1. So expect them to be very close. Off the circuit goes David Barraclough, but rejoins him. It's a bit of acceleration as well. Squared off that corner nicely. Sure, that was not what he was intending originally, though. Rob Thiessen, he's still losing places. This time, Ben Gregory. Remember, race 2 winner at Snetterton last week. Don't think he's going to win this race, but it could still be a good point score for Gregory, who's looking to finish in the top 3 in this championship. Maybe even top 2 could be possible. Of course, the last round of the championship cannot be dropped, so potentially quite a swing in that midfield, which is ever so close in the championship as it stands. Could be coming next time out at Donington Park. Jesper Linds holding off Michael Dreschler. This is very important. Can Dreschler get the race lead? If so, you feel you'd back him to start building a gap. But the Texas Spitslide Motorsport driver doing a good job at defending at the moment, as Jackie Lotzman down the inside of James Salt. He's up into 3rd position now. It's the EVA SR driver. And I mean, there's... Oh, sorry, no, apologies. That's Salt still ahead. But certainly knocking on the door at the moment as Pim Bao, who starts in on pole position, continuing to lose places. Now will Lotzman get past James Salt? I think he will do. There we go, up into 3rd place. And I mean, there's nothing more that I want to see than Jackie Lotzman versus Michael Dreschler again after their 3 contacts they made in race 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jackie Lottman's getting through the field pretty quickly, and yeah, up into P3, and well, it was yeah, I think yeah, Jackie's having a good race at the moment, but still in the lead at the moment is Jesper Lind, closely followed by Michael Dressler, and I think it's only a matter of time before Dressler gets by Lind. But fair play to Jesper, he's putting up a defensive drive at the moment.
Yeah, no way through at the moment for Dreschler, who in one sense wants to be quick about this, but in another sense, if he make any contact, then that's really going to hurt him for the rest of the race, particularly around this spa circuit where any drag is very important. Oh, Lotzman's made a mistake, and that's really going to compromise his race. Is he going to let pass another EVO SR driver? He's a little bit off space on the inside there. but stays ahead of Tom McMahon. So that's important. McMahon, of course, the championship leader with a bit of damage as well, though. Salt and Vranks going side by side, and Vranks actually up into third position. So nicely done for the Sim Racers World driver. This is back to the start with Jackie Lossman.
Yeah, just looking to see what happened. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, it seemed the sub cars in front of him just bounced up a little bit, and I think that concertina effect was caused by Ralph Cullinan, who got away, who seemed to get away slightly, well, a little bit slow.
Lotsman getting his car to the inside. I mean, that's smart driving, it must be said. This is what happened to Ben Liesenord. Already seen how he kind of got tapped down, went to the outside, but just got tapped from Andrew Brown in the end. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so apparently Martin Van Liesenord is out of the race. And I mean, just as we thought his championship was, just as we thought maybe he'd have a turn luck, there you go. He's damaged the rear wheel. There's no point in continuing.
There's back up at the front in the GT3s. It looks like Michael Dresler has managed to get by Jesper Lind up into the lead.
Yes, so very significant that. Dreschler up 11 places from his starting position of 12th. Can Lind stay with him? And can anyone else get involved? Oh, Madsen's off the circuit. Straight across at Lecombe. Oh, and a
Contact
spin
behind.
round between Stadler and Clays. They've taken each other out of the action. They had a good chance at a podium, one of those two at least, if not both of them. And that's some good reversing there from Stadler, who's joined the circuit a little bit unsafely. Nearly ruined that nice J-turn that he did. Clays moved ahead after all of that. These guys were running. Clays was in third place. Stadler was leading the race going onto this lap. This is probably how it all happened then. Madsen, this is well before his off. Here we are, a little bit closer now. So I wonder if Madsen's just hopelessly misjudges braking. Yes, very much.
And he just keeps his foot down. As
Ooh, and that was Stadler and Clays.
Yeah, Stadler and Clay's getting together, and they just watch the Stadler. It looks like he put it in reverse and tried to get off the racing line, but when he went to get going again, he just about done a yeah. I'll probably get shot down for saying it, but he just about done a Sebastian Vettel.
Oh, that is the worst worst comment you could possibly receive, being compared to Sebastian.
Sorry, Harold.
And yes, hopefully we'll see those guys continue. But of course, we in this league we don't take into consideration what happened to the drivers after an incident. So if you crash into someone and then spin, you still get the same amount of penalty as if you crashed into someone and carried on gaining a place. So if either of those drivers feel like protesting, be very welcome. Lotsman down the inside of ranks up into third place, but he's made this one rather more difficult for himself than he needed to. He was up into third place, made a really unnecessary mistake at the chicane though, and now has got a long way to catch up to the top two of Jeschler and Lind. Back to the front in the Porsche category. Sorry, not the front. Second place, Madsen versus Havas.
Yep. Yeah, Madsen in second place at the moment, and it looks like Havas has got a run on him, but I don't think Austin will be able to make a move. And no, he's not close enough. But behind these guys, battling by the way, is Frank Kern and Tim Claessens.
Feren's having a really good evening today. I mean, I still want to see that start of his at the start of this race. How he managed to get such an awesome start, but this is turning into possibly the best race he's had all season. A successful driver in the Porsche BSR League that used to be broadcast by Apex Racing TV. He was very successful in that. Maybe he hasn't quite replicated that success this season. I don't think he's got a podium yet so far. But today he might be able to score one. This is what I wanted. So thank you to Marco for delivering this. He was starting quite far back. He just missed out on the reverse grid, so he started in 9th place.
Yeah, so just looking on board with Frank at the moment. Just looking to see if anything happened at the start, and all looks good so far into turn one. Not sure if I had any contact with anyone. Can't see anything. Can't see anything out of the blue.
I mean, just very quietly gaining a few places. Nicely done there from Brent Kern, seemingly.
As he tries to go. Oh, I thought they were going to. I thought there was a car alongside him trying to go too wide through Ruse, but yeah, manages to get through safely.
Yes, and he's now running in 4th place between Cronin, behind Cronin, Madsen, and Bias with Clarsons on his tail. What else is going out on circuit at the moment? Falling down the dear. Oh dear. I mean, that is a bad curse for Prince Kern. And after applauding his fantastic effort, I said how he was quite close to Tim Clarson's. Clearly, they got a little bit too close to one another into the chicane. Has Clarson's. Oh, he's just giving him a nudge there. And creating a bit of a roadblock there. Good effort there from Clarson's actually to let back past Prince Kern. So thank you to him for that. Although he's still ahead of Kern. As Madsen having to defend from Hervias. It's the battle for 2nd place.
Yep, and yeah, just up the road from these guys at the moment with about a 2 second to 3 second lead is Brendan Cronin at the moment, and yeah, just leaving these guys behind while they battle away for P2, and yeah, it seems to be doesn't seem to be really anyone close in the Porsches apart from this battle. Seems to have spread out a little bit.
Yeah, just as we saw in race 1. Kern is getting a little bit closer to Means, to be fair, and Kuma and Stadler are quite close to one another, but of course Kern and Stadler kind of recovering from earlier incidents. They should make those moves quite swiftly. In the GT3 category, so just a little bit of a rundown again. Michael Jeschler leading the way, then it's Jesper Lind, still in 2nd place. Jackie Lotzman closing in on Lind, but crucially, Lotzman only 1/10 of a second faster than Jeschler. He wants to catch and pass Jeschler if he possibly can by the end of this race, but he's running out of time to do so. It is a long race, of course, 40 minutes. Not easy. Around this Spa circuit has a big slide for Gregory Ranks. I mean, that was quite incredible how he hung on to the car right there. And he's now got big pressure from behind from Tom McMahon. Here comes McMahon. Looks to the inside, backs out of it though. Does the eBay Sim Racing driver. Ranks running wide, and this is losing each other a lot of time. Ranks again wide. I mean, if he could possibly get on the racing line, I mean, that would really help his lap times considerably. Down the inside this time goes McMahon. I think this will be simple enough. Ranks taking some very alternative racing lines, to say the least. He does eventually drop down into 5th. Behind Ranks now is Andrew Brandt, so he'll be facing some pressure there. This is what happened to Gregory Ranks, how kind of the driver behind got involved in the first place of Tom McMahon. And McMahon must have got a superb slipstream actually up at Eau Rouge, because you can see he wasn't that far behind. But of course, a wiggle for Ranks coming out of this corner. This was a good save.
He got, that was well hit. That was about. I have to say, 10 out of 10 for that save.
Apparently, the AstroTurf there is more slippery now in this build around this circuit. So, I mean, for him to hang on to that all the while, I mean, very impressive indeed. Here comes Lotzeman, tries to move up into 2nd place.
As Waterman tries to go up the inside and make the move up the inside, and he manages to get it done. And yeah, very late on the brakes from Waterman, but fair play, manages to get the move done.
Crucially,
And
not. Sorry.
that's okay.
I was just going to say, crucially, not losing too much time to Michael Dreschler. He's 5 seconds to cap.
As yeah, we look back at the Porsches as well, and it's still Brendan Cronin leading the way, but yeah, behind Cronin is Madsen and Havias, and yeah, still battling away for 2nd place. And yeah, I think this battle could go right down to the last lap. But I did notice that these two slightly closed the gap, on Cronin a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting what Havias's mentality here will be, because if he wants to help out, I mean, for the greater good of the team, or for geodetic racing, it would be worth just holding up Madsen a little bit, getting involved so that Madsen doesn't catch and pass the race leader. It would really help going in the championship, no doubt, to get a double today. But at the same time, I mean, he wants to win this race himself, does Austin Tobias, and he realizes to win this race, his best bet is to not fight too much with Madsen. So it will be interesting to see what his mentality here is, and hopefully we'll have a chat with him after this race. It's quite close between Edwards and Claessens. Edwards has consistently been 3rd or 4th place in these races so far this season. It's been really impressive from him. A driver who we haven't seen too much in the past for Gold Racing Team. He's got Tim Claessens chasing him down for Torque Freak Racing.
Yeah, it's good to see Tim having a good round this evening so far. He's from the times he's raced, he's not really had the luck or had the pace, but he seems to be having a good round so far, and right behind Tad Edwards in front of him, and 5th place is probably the best so far this season that Tim's been is had, but he's making a move up the inside of Tad Edwards, and he's up into P4.
Just getting
Oh.
it stopped. So nice work there from Tim Claessens. Could be a bit of a dull race for him to the end now because he should be able to pull away from Taj Edwards. Although Frenz Kern, after that issue he had, he is catching up to these guys quite quickly. So he could be under some pressure. I'm sure just taking this car around this circuit, it's a joy in itself. If we do another series of this, we'll certainly visit Montreal because, I mean, that is the best track in the world for drivers. Even if you're completely by yourself, if there's no one else in your class, still fun going down that circuit is absolutely superb. Of course, any ideas of leagues that you want us to host, Apex Racing League, lets us know. You might have an incredible idea, which you straight away think, yes, we will host that. But we are certainly open to any ideas you guys have. Certainly this format has worked very well this season. Of course, 5 weeks ago we started, and still these drivers seemingly enjoying it quite a bit. Michael Dreschler more than anyone else. Just going to see if actually I might say in a minute. Oh, Tilgard is dropping down the order. Martin Tilgard, who was running up in 9th place, was Tilgard. He's down into... Oh, you know what? He's back into the pits. So he's had to take back to the pits. Really disappointing for him. This is how it happened. Big slide. And unlike Ranks, he couldn't collect it. Now, has this involved another driver? No, and Tilgard plays back to the pits nice and quickly.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Martin. It looks like he just got unsettled over the curb on the exit of I can't remember the name of the corner. Radion, I think it was. Looks like he just got unsettled over the curb, and it just spun threw the car into the wall, and that was it. I know from experience of doing laps in the Audi, it doesn't seem to like going over the curbs.
Absolutely not. Yeah, certainly. That when I joined iRacing, at least that was quite a talkative theme. How bad the Audi was over the curbs. By the way, Dreschler hasn't won a race this season. He has had a couple of podiums, but so far the race winners in the GT3 category have been Lotsman, Van Loosenord, Bibby, McMahon, and Gregory. McMahon was actually the 4th different winner this season, but he then proceeded to win the next 3 races, hence why he's got quite a dominant championship lead, but doesn't look like he's going to win any races today. He certainly hasn't been overwhelmingly fast compared to the others, has McMahon this season, but he's just been grinding out these results, and after 4th place in race 1, a 4th place in race 2 will once again score him some good points. He usually doesn't pick up too many off tracks either, which certainly does help you along with the points as well. Clay's battling with Kumo. Clay's, of course, having that spin earlier on through Les Combes, or on the exit of Les Combes. Kumo still a very consistent driver. Still got a chance at 3rd place in the championship, does Kumo, because he's been very consistent, finishing all these races. But I think it's only a matter of time till the Rev Match Racing esports driver makes the move. As Tor Bourbon is retired.
Yeah, I was about to say Tor Bourbon. I'm not sure what's happened to him. I don't know if he's had a spin or hit the wall, but as I look at this battle between Kumo and Clays, and it looks like Clays might be making a move up the inside. He tries to get up the inside, and yeah, it's a close race between these two, and this is why I like the Porsche Cup car, because it's just one of those cars that provides great racing, and you don't really have to change anything setup wise, and it's just one of those cars that you can just jump into and just jump into and go racing straight away.
Yes, and personally, as a bit as a sloth, metaphorically, I do dearly like this car. Pretty much any setup you use, you're absolutely right, Ryan, will work around most circuits. And if it doesn't work, then blame the setup, and or if you make a mistake, blame the setup, and of course you can never take
Always
responsibility for
like
your
this.
own mistakes, which is a fantastic way to think. It's the Clays though. Well, he still hasn't made the move then on Kuma. Really good defense there from Sam Kuma. He was on the outside for a couple of corners, but really kept good pace and making it very difficult at the moment for the Rev Match Racing esports driver. Of course, also the Sim Racers World GT Championship driver of Steve Place, been there for a while, certainly. Like I said earlier on, do subscribe to the iRacing Esports Network because we are broadcasting the World GT on Mondays, the BSR MX5 on a Tuesday, Sim Racers World GT Championship on a Wednesday, and then the Apex Racing League TCR League on a Thursday as it goes past Sam Kuma. Does Steve Place into Leku up into 8th place? 9th place.
Yep, I believe that was ninth place for Steve Plays. As I look back at the GT3s, and it looks like yeah, Cullinan's about to lose a position from Ole Christian Uhrenberg, and yeah, Ehrenberg up into 8th place.
Yes, up 7 places from his start. He was one spot out of getting pole position for this race 2. Finished in 15th place in race 1. Cullinan running a little bit wide. He started on the front row of the grid, of course, but quickly lost the vast majority of those places after a very tricky start. Here he comes, though, in that BMW. A little bit of a crumpled bonnet on that car, so it won't be helping him down the straight. Lifts out of it, though. Isn't too interested in going for the move at the moment. The driver just behind them is Loreo, who's on his first ever meeting in this series. Great to see him out there. Great to see new drivers joining the league, of course. And these guys home now. About Bengal Lights as well, still in touch just behind.
Yep, absolutely. Is right on board with Tom McMahon at the moment, and yeah, currently in 4th place, and yeah, kind of seems to be a bit far back from the top 3 at the moment, but yeah, still a good position in 4th, and yeah, more points for the championship, and yeah, stuck just behind Tom McMahon as well as Gregory Varanks and Andrew S. Brown. So yeah, three-way fight for fourth place at the moment.
Yeah, McMahon being caught up by Franks and Brown, seemingly. Gregory 3 seconds behind, but lapping a little bit slower than these drivers. Off the circuit goes Lind, just ahead. Doesn't want to make too many more of those mistakes. You know what? This has been a bit of a disappointing lap, I think, for Jesper Lind. He lost 1 second, or sorry, 4/10 of a second on the last lap to the drivers behind. As we go back to Loreo, he's very quickly caught up to Colin round the outside. This is going to be a bold move into
Ooh.
Longchamp. Going to be a Verstappen-esque move, but doesn't go for it. He'll maybe go for the inside into the chicane. Cullinan tries to kind of squeeze him on the inside there to make the corner as tight as possible. Really good driving from the Audi driver, though. He's got the inside for the source. Here comes out of pretty much nowhere Ben Galite, who is a very quick driver, it seems, today. Finished in 8th place in race 1. Loreo changing his line a few times there, but eventually finding the one which will keep hit that position. But now making contact, and back comes Cullinan. Side by side going into Eau Rouge. This is going to be great from these two drivers. Loreo does the smart thing, slots back in behind because he knows he will get a good tow down the Kemmel Straight.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it was a bit naughty from Thiago into turn 1. He moved more than once, but yeah, behind him, Bengalite's got a great run on him, and yeah, Thiago's yeah, it's a bit. I'm not sure what to think. Oh,
Ooh.
oh, I thought he was going to do the typical Iberian thing and just dive bomb.
Ah, dear. Well, to be fair, we don't have enough Iberians in this league to make some slurs like that. As he gets forced off. Maybe that was a bit of an Iberian move from Bengalite there, going down the inside into the top 10. And Leveo, from gaining 1 place, he's very quickly lost 1 place. But I think these three will stay relatively close to one another to the end of the race. They were fighting with Unaberg, I think, before, but Unaberg is miles ahead now. By the way, just an update on the leaders in this class. Joshua is still leading, ahead of Lotsman. 5 seconds between the two of them. They are very evenly matched on pace. On that last lap, in fact, Lotsman was 1/100th slower. So they're pretty much matching each other, and unless a mistake from Michael Dreschler is pretty much the only thing which can stop him from winning this race too. Jesper Lind still running in 3rd place, but he is coming under increasing pressure from Tom McMahon currently, with Gregory ranks in 5th, Andrew Brown a close 6th. Then we've got Gregory and Unaberg a little bit by themselves, and then we've got this terrific battle. Cullinan, Galite, and Loreo. Now, well, this time, Galite with the extra Mercedes horsepower might have a good chance at the move into the chicane. This is the move that Loreo tried on the last lap. Round the outside, Cullinan, a little bit of contact with him there, but really good pace for the BMW through that first part of the chicane, and he stays ahead and should be fine going into the source.
Yeah, that was a good try from Bengai. He tried to go around the outside, but just couldn't get just couldn't hold on to it on the outside. But yeah, if he can get a good run on the X of turn 1 and a good run through O'Rose and Radio, and he could get a good slipstream on the straight on the next straight. Sorry.
Yeah, this is kind of the distance that you want to be behind. Look at this run. This is going to be quite simple, I think, for Ben Galite. A lot more speed for him. Maybe taking a little bit longer for him to draw alongside. He's going to be halfway down the Camel Straight by the time he does pull out. Going into Lake Coombe. It's dead level.
Oh.
And the Mercedes around the outside should be a little bit stronger if they do make contact. Big Sly Cullinan just about keeping his nose there. And the much better run, though, on the exit.
Oh, contact!
Into the wall goes Cullinan. And Loreo, good turn there from Cullinan, but that could be terminal damage for him.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for Cullinan. He just got caught up with Thiago and just yeah, I don't like to blame anyone in an incident like that, but yeah, it was just really unfortunate because it was a good freeway battle, but yeah, just unfortunately both of them got tangled and got caught up together, and just that was it.
Loreo's had to go back to the pits. So great disappointment for him. This is what it looks on board with him. I think Cullinan maybe made a bit of contact or was affected by Glide because he came very quickly across. Yeah, maybe he just didn't see Loreo there. Not quite sure. But I'm sure that there was some kind of explanation. You can see Glide straight after going a little bit deep, maybe seeing all that action going on behind him, cuts him off.
Is yeah, just looking at another replay as well to see what happened between yeah, from the view of Bengali, just to see what happened behind him, and yeah, he runs wide a little bit, goes in front of Cullinan, and just yeah, all kicked off behind.
Cullinan still going though, he's still ahead of Pim Bao in fact, so should be able to at least finish on the lead lap and score some points. Lind coming under increasing pressure from McMahon. I did say that a couple of laps ago, but the pressure is still increasing. That's how close he's getting. Andrew Brown getting past Gregory Frank, so going to be another good points haul for Brown, who's been one of the most consistent drivers in this league. And is currently sitting 2nd place in the championship and should be still sitting 2nd place after this round is complete. Jesper Lind's running a little bit wide. Just trying to get his nose down the inside. Maybe an opportunity for the EVA SR driver through No Name Corner. Really good pace carried around there, but Lind, this time, unlike race 1, not leaving too much room. McMahon looking every which way. Lind hasn't got a podium so far this season.
Ooh.
And maybe this time, McMahon, if he can carry a lot of speed around the outside, don't want to run too wide because that curb does get quite tall. They're coming up to Sam Kuma at the moment, who could play quite an influential part in this. These Porsches really not very fast around these high-speed corners, but does a really good job there, does the Finnish driver, the car number 1, to get out of the way of at least 2 of them. And I think he'll get out of the way of Brown and Franks as well.
Yeah, I have to say, yeah, Samuli done a good job there, sticking to his line. He didn't do anything silly by like move off line. He stuck to his line, and as he's entitled to do. And these guys got around him safely, and everyone seemed to make it by Samuli in one piece. And we've got a four-way fight for the final step on the podium between Lund, McMahon, Brown, and well, it looks like Gregory Varanks.
Got less than 8 minutes to go in this race. Last week we saw Gregory being able to fend for a similar amount of time from from McMahon, in fact, actually, it was. Thought that was for the race win rather than third place, but I'm sure Jesperlin would certainly cherish this if he could hang on. Ranks then, just behind Gregory. Is he catching up to these guys? Yes, he is, by 1 second elapsed. So Ben Gregory might be able to get involved, currently sitting in 7th place. There's also a massive gap as well between 7th and 8th place. We will get back onto that as there's almost contact. Surely there was contact there as Brown. Apologies. McMahon looking to get past Lind. That bonnet damage though really hindering the Evo SR Gyro, and he might even get boxed in as Brown tries to go alongside. Still trying to find some space. Here's Tom McMahon, but Lind is putting his car into the perfect places. And this lap 15, he still hasn't resisted that top 3 place.
Yeah, I have to say, Jesper Lund is doing a great defensive job at the moment. He's defending hard, but he's defending fair at the same time. And they're just coming up to more Porsche Cup Porsche Cup car traffic as well. So this could play into the hands of these guys behind Jesper Lund, and maybe they give them a chance to try and get by.
Should catch him at the perfect point here. Then just on the entry to the chicane, already catch them just in the middle of it. Difficult to get past Ronald Means, but credit to Means, another driver getting off the race line. To be fair, Means isn't fighting with anyone else at the moment, so really a big credit to him there for staying behind. Did see a couple of words from the GT3 drivers on the Alton Park round, and a couple of the Porsches were really crediting the GT3 drivers for not making a move, and GT3 drivers were like, well, we weren't fighting for anything, so we let you guys have a race and watched it from just behind, which is a very good attitude to have. Letting those other guys race carry on as if nothing was happening. They will probably catch up to Ferenc Kern up the road. That might be it, though, in terms of the Porsche Cup traffic for these GT3 cars. So shouldn't be too bad, as Lind will move on to his 16th lap. Ben Gregory still 4 seconds behind. Not sure if he'll catch by the end of this race. You can just see him in the back there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Ben Gregory's slowly catching up to these guys in front of him, and all they'll have to do is just keep battling in a way. They might be able to catch him before the end, but looking at this battle between Madsen and Havaeus, still for P2, and it looks like the leader, Brendan Cronin, is just checked out.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant drive from Brendan Cronin, miles ahead of these other, well, say 6 seconds ahead, which in that category is very large. Here comes McMahon. Is this maybe the 4th time lucky? Round the outside at Lake Coombe, not very wide part of the circuit this. Lind goes round the outside of the second part, we'll have the inside for the next part, and that is really good driving there from Jesper Lind. He's not as fast as those drivers behind, but he's doing everything he needs. Andrew Brown, is there maybe a little bit of the championship ticking through his mind? I don't quite know. I doubt it, to be honest, seeing that he's probably not got the championship on his mind. He's probably got a podium on his mind, but he really does need to beat Tom McMahon if he's going to keep this championship alive going into Donington next week. Having to go defensive even into Pouon, not usually an overtaking spot, but he's trying to make it one. Is Tom McMahon. Brilliant pace around the outside through the first part. Not quite enough pace on the second part to make up for the extra tarmac that he has to cover. And Lind is having to defend into every single corner at the moment.
Yeah, I have to say he's doing a great job of defending and keeping these guys behind, and as I look back at the Porsche class, where the battle for second place between Madsen and Havaeus, and Madsen defending inside line, and Havaeus is trying to basically trying everything to try and get by, but Madsen's just doing a great defensive job at the moment.
Back to these guys, you can see that they're quite quickly merging onto the same bit of tarmac. these two battles, but they shouldn't match one another by the end of this race. Lind surely going to have to go defensive into the bus stop, the chicane, as round the outside goes McMahon. He's going to lose a place surely to Brown, who leaves a lot of space, does the Grip TV driver, and now has to go off the circuit. He'll have the inside for La Sosa, and I think he's just about got his car alongside. Yes, he does. From this chopper view, we can see that down the inside into La Source. Frank's trying to get involved, almost contact between the top two in the championship, and they are going to be almost dead level down into Eau Rouge as Hervias moves up into second place. It's a GA Desert Racing 1-2 now. Brilliant move from Austin Hervias, and he's going to only one place behind his teammate now. We're going to have to go back to that battle between Lind and McMahon and Brown. McMahon stayed ahead of Brown, at least temporarily, through Eau Rouge and Radion, but Brown is back for more, and that Mercedes has got much better straight line speed this time round the outside. This is the move that McMahon tried to pull off last time when trying to move up into the podium places. It's the move that Brown is trying to pull off in order to move up into the top 4 places, but it's not going to work out for him as Banks almost gets alongside as McMahon gets a little bit of a tap behind, and that was Vane nearly into the wall. The Joe who hasn't faced any crashes all season long, he only loses 1 place. Brown finally up into 4th place.
Yeah, these guys battling away. Those allowed Jess Bond to build up a little gap to these guys behind, and yeah, Jesper could be on for his first podium of the season, I believe, in the GT3 class, and it's been a good drive by Jesper. He's kept his head cool and just done a great had a great defensive drive at the moment.
Yeah, he would have certainly earned that podium if he can get it. Dreschler's lead is coming down, and now he's got a bit of traffic between 2 furiously racing drivers, Madsen and Cronin. Can Madsen, Herbias, can Madsen take advantage of this, almost making contact with the GT3 leader, and Madsen moves back ahead. That was brilliant there from the Texans Pitstone Motorsport driver, and just following through where the race leader went. By the way, the gap between the top two was 5 seconds. It's now down to 2.5 seconds. But this is going to be the final lap of the races. Going wide there is Herbias. That's going to hinder Jackie Lotzman. Can Lotzman get the run down into Eau Rouge? He just can't because the Porsche is so quick down these straights. And now, watch for him to get held up going up Eau Rouge because the Porsches really do struggle. Lotzman not getting good exit from Radion, and maybe the half chance he had of catching up to the race leader is certainly over with now. Will he get Madsen going into Lacoon? This is going to be a bold move on the championship leader in the Porsche category. Goes for it. Here comes Hervias trying to follow through, but Madsen carried good speed and he maintains that 2nd place.
Yeah, absolutely. Hervias has managed to catch up to Madsen again. I thought Hervias was going to run wide there, but looking back at the battle for P3, yeah, Lynn still got a gap behind him, but yeah, Brown, Varanks, and Tom McMahon are battling away, and yeah, it looks like it's going to be a battle for a 4th position on the final lap.
Banks then gets him past Tom McMahon. I believe this will be McMahon's worst finish all season, 6th place. I don't think he's actually finished outside the top 4 this season. Maybe he got a 3rd or 4th, a load of wins, and a 2nd place, I remember, and also a 4th place earlier on today. But a 6th place for him will be his worst result. But crucially, I think this might even be his drop round for this season. Just shows how good his season's been when a 4th and 6th will be his drop round as Prince Kern has gone off into the barrier. Will that put his finish result in jeopardy? Probably not, because what means is another 20 seconds behind. This is what happens to Kern. Just getting on that AstroTurf, and or maybe iRacing have made it a little bit more slippery. I'm not quite sure for this season. Certainly Prince Kern will be feeling that is the case. But out in the lead, Michael Dreschler, 2.5 seconds up in the lead. He's come close many times this season, has Dreschler to a race win. But finally, at the 10th time of asking, he is going to win. Michael Dreschler wins Spa Race 2 ahead of Jackie Lotzman in the Madsen will cross the line next in the Porsche category. He finishes 2nd place. That's a really good result for him. Tough test though, up by Austin Herbias. Here comes Jesper Lind. He's going to get his first podium of the season. Congratulations to him. He had to fend off many fast drivers with about 15 minutes to go. He held on and some really good defensive driving. Gregory couldn't quite catch up to those guys. One more lap and he could have well got involved in that Tom McMahon Gregory Ranks battle. A few more GT3s are going to cross the line. The last driver who will cross the line will be Brendan Cronin. Here he is. He's won the race, but he hasn't crossed the checkered flag yet. He was the only one of the Porsches who wasn't lapped. And so he can, this is pretty much his parade lap. And I mean, I keep on banging on about it, Ryan, but this championship is so close in the Porsche Cup cars. And going into the final round, which cannot be dropped, remember, the Cronin and Madsen are going to be pretty much dead level on points. And in terms of race wins, they are going to be locked on 5 apiece, which is pretty mad at this stage in the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a fantastic championship so far in the Porsches, and I think as I said earlier, I think it's going to be difficult to predict who wins the championship between the as it stands between Cronin and Madsen. So if I was a betting man, I would probably wait until the last round of the season to put a bet on. So, but whoever wins it deserves it because they've been so consistent in this season.
Absolutely. Going into this round, their points, their pure points, there was 15 points between them. Points with drop score, there was 7 points between them. I think we can take into account the points with drop score because neither of them will drop this round. So I believe he would have scored 6 more points. So he was 1 point behind going into this race. Brendan Cronin may well take the lead of the championship for the first time, I believe, since Silverstone, which was race 1 of the season. Of course, penalty points and stuff will still take effect, but he'll bathe in his glory for now. Brendan Cronin wins race 2 at Spa, and that Porsche Cup Championship is going right down to the wire. 1 or 2 more races to go, 1 more meeting to go at Donington next Sunday. Still, some interviews and stuff and race analysis, I guess, will occur before then. But first off, before all of that, we'll go through the final results. Michael Dreschler wins out 2.2 seconds ahead of Jackie Lotzman. They were 20 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Brilliant drive for those two, considering that they started in 12th and 13th on the grid. Lynn then finishes in 3rd place. Brown finishes in 4th with Franks in 5th. There's Tom McMahon in 6th. Great battle amongst those 4. Behind that was Ben Gregory, Ole Christian Unberg, Ben Galite, Rafe Cullinan, Pim Bao, and then the retirees in that class were Rob Thiessen, Tiago Loureiro, Martin Tilgard, James Salt, James Underhill, and Martin van Luzenoord. In the Porsche category, Brendan Cronin won out. He was the only Porsche driver who wasn't lapped. So on the screen it says he was 1 lap ahead of Nick Madsen. It was actually about 10 seconds between the two of them. Austin Herbias very close to 3rd place for his best round of the season, undoubtedly. Behind that was Tim Claessens, Taj Edwards, Prince Kern, Ronald Moons, and Sam Kumo. The retirees in that class were Harold Stadler, Steve Clays, Tor Bourbon, and Lewis Ward. 30 drivers out there. A little bit of a pickup from Stetson last week. Hopefully, we'll see many more drivers at Donington Park next week. And of course, any drivers who are watching this back, we certainly appreciate you guys, turning up every weekend because it makes the racing a lot more action-packed for us. So, interviews we will have. Jackie Lotzman, I think, is going to be the first interview we have. And Jackie, congratulations out there. 2 second places and potentially the highest point scorer of anyone today. So, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
That was particularly race 1. You had a terrific battle with Michael. I don't know, maybe there's a little bit of maybe you might see it a little bit differently, but from us, that was super entertaining in race 1, and we just wanted to see that in race 2, but unfortunately, you couldn't quite catch up.
Yeah, it was really good in race 1. I actually talked to Michael already, so but I spun him around, or it was kind of a racing incident. It was maybe a bit of netcode as well. So he got spun, which was pretty unfortunate, but those Mercedes are so fast on the straight that's you just can't do anything about it. And then race 2, I I tried my best, but Michael was just too fast. I caught like 3 seconds, but just couldn't get the last bit.
Absolutely. I don't know how much experience you got in this GT3 car, so I don't know if this affected you, but this circuit is pretty much the only kind of expansive circuit we have all season. All the others are tight, twisty club circuits, and then we head to this international circuit. It must have felt quite different racing around here today.
Yeah, I love Spa. It's really fun. It's really fast and all different turns, and you go from really fast turns to like a really slow one. So it's pretty.
Absolutely. And next week we head to Donington Park. How much experience have you got around that circuit, and have you ever raced the GT3 round there?
Yeah, I've raced the GT3 around there, and it's a pretty good track. I like it, so I'm looking forward.
We certainly wish you the best of luck for next week. Jackie, before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to give a massive shout out to my new team. So Prologue React Esport. It's I literally joined like last night, so I don't know everybody yet, but I think we should have a good time.
Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Jackie, and best of luck to you and your new team, and next week as well.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for the broadcast.
So that was Jackie Lotzman, who, thanks to that compliment, will get some favoritism for next week. We are that fickle. So, if you're a driver, just have a chat with us and then thank us. And I mean, we are very impressionable, no doubt. Tom McMahon is also going to have a chat with us. Tom, well done out there. Remarkably, off the top of my head, I think that might be your drop score, which shows how good this season has been for you. That the fact that a fourth and a sixth might be your lowest point score all season. But I mean, that was still really tight out there, and some really good battles you had as well.
Yeah, it was really good. Slightly disappointed, but I did know coming into it that I needed 60 points to count towards turn, so it wasn't a drop score. And I always knew I'd struggle at Spa. I love the British track, and for some reason I've never really got on pace-wise with Spa. So I kind of, even in the first race when I got to second, I kind of knew I was going to go back a little bit. And then I picked up a little bit of damage in race 2, and so I was steadily catching Jesper, but I couldn't get past, and I was getting a little bit frustrated just because I didn't have that little bit of straight line speed, and so I went for an optimistic move. It didn't pay off, and then that let Andrew and Gregory, I think, onto my tail. But it was good fun. It was really good fun.
Definitely. We've seen you very good with the or at least I've seen you very good at the instance this season. I could do the points every week. You haven't picked up many penalty points so far this season, but this must have been a real test round such a 1x heavy circuit. Did you pick up any penalty points, or did you even maybe pick up a bonus point in either of the races?
I'm ashamed to say this was not a good round for that. That was my plan going into it, because I was thinking, okay, well, I don't have the raw pace. At least I can try and keep it clean. I think in both races, I think I got 10 in the first, and then lap 1 of race 2 was hideous. I think I was up to 9x by the end of lap 1. So sadly, penalty points for Tom this week. But yeah, as you alluded to, as it's the drop score, puts me in a good position for next week. And Donington is a much more favourable track for me, so I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely. Of course, you can't drop that round at Donington, but I mean, it's all going your way. I haven't looked at the scores yet. Going into this round, you were many points ahead. 70 points ahead, you'll probably be. And the most amount of points you can score in a round is like 82, I guess. I mean, you probably need to finish like 10th in one of the races, and the championship will be yours. So, I mean, I buy some champagne is what I'm saying, because you're very nearly there.
We won't get too carried away, but yeah, focus on the sprint race, because that's the one that you can have a bit more control over, and then we'll see how we go after that.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck for next week, Tom. Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Just the Evo SR guys as usual, and you guys for putting on an awesome stream, awesome events. It's been a superb league. Really enjoyed it. So thanks again, guys.
Well, thank you very much, Tom, and best of luck for next week to seal the championship.
Cheers, guys.
And once again, Tom McMahon also complimenting the organization of the league, and that is so much favoritism that comes his way thanks to that. All the reverse grid wheels, honestly, so far this season have all gone his way. It is quite incredible. Brendan Cronin also going to have a chat with us. Congratulations, Brendan. I mean, in such a tight championship between you and Nick, 2 wins today. I mean, that is really impressive to beat Nick and Austin, who was on fire today.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was good race. I'm pretty happy that I was able to pull off a win both times because I think each week you guys have heard me say I learned the track and bought the track in some cases an hour before the race, but I at least know Spa. So if I didn't win here both races, I'd be a bit embarrassed, but got it done.
Absolutely. I haven't done the points, of course, so far going into the final round, but I can guarantee it's going to be close between you and Nick. I mean, it's been such a terrific championship between you two so far this season, and I guess it's only fitting that you go into the final round of the championship at Donington pretty much on level points. It must be quite a lot of pressure, I guess, because yeah, it's been so tight so far.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of pressure. I think Nick got 0x in the first race. I'll have to check. So he might have gained 1 point from that. And then in the second race, I got, I think, 3x. And I just talked to him real quick. He said he got a lot. So I think I made out obviously on points this week, but I'm not sure how that'll pan out in terms of, yeah, I actually got protested for something last week, which cost me 4 points. Yeah, then there's that drop round where I didn't do too well. So I honestly, I don't even know what the points are. I'll have to look. But either way, I view the pressure about the same, honestly. Like if I go into each race, like, all right, let's try to win it, and if I happen to be in last in the championship or in the lead in the championship, it's more or less the same when I'm driving.
Yeah, certainly a very good attitude to have. Nick, by the way, got 23 instants, so that'll be 6 penalty points, which could be very significant to say the least. But at Donington, do you own Donington? Have you done much racing around there? Will it be will it be the same case as the first 4 rounds, or will it be a bit more like this Spa round where you need the circuit going into it?
Donington and I have a kind of weird relationship. So I learned it for the first time for SEO GT in the Porsche Cup, and I think we had the pace and the strategy to win that race. And then a few laps in, or like half hour into this 4 hour race, we lost power. So we were down like I don't know, multiple laps, and we ended up finishing fifth. So I feel like that's the race that's gotten away from me, and I've never raced it other than that one time. So I'd quite like to win at Donington, but I am familiar with it.
Definitely. Well, we wish you the best of luck for that one. Brendan, before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, thanks to you guys. Love the broadcast, and actually, you know what? A unique one this week. Thanks to Tim for sending me a message after the first race. I guess he wasn't aware that we were 3 wide going into there, and I was like, "I'm sorry, Tim. I didn't move at all." And he's like, "I thought we were 2 wide, but we were three." So thanks to Tim for being a good sport. But yep, and of course, thanks to the usuals, Alpine Stars and GoPro and Turn Racing, and the rest of the team, of course, and Austin for doing a great job today.
Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Brendan, and best of luck for the championship decider in 1 week time.
Thank you guys. See you next week.
So that rounds off our interviews for the evening. And Ryan, just another terrific round of the championship. And unfortunately, we've only got one more to go. But Donington, I think, is a very good place to end the championship. Very much, yeah, certainly an old school circuit, narrow corners, fast sweepers. And will be a lot of fun to see these GT3 and Porsche Cup cars go around there.
Yeah, I'm quite sad that the season's coming to an end next week, but it's been a fantastic series to commentate on, and yeah, I think Donington Park next week should should produce an absolutely brilliant finale to the series, and I'm quite looking forward to it. And also next weekend, I believe, is the final round of the real life British GT series. So the a fun Sunday filled with sim racing and real life motorsport.
By the way, I didn't schedule it to be like that. I mean, there was a 1 in 52 chance of that happening. But yeah, maybe I should buy a lottery ticket. To be fair, if the lottery, if you had a 2% chance of winning the lottery, I mean, I'd buy lots of lottery tickets, safe to say. But no, very fitting that is the case. So of course, later on in the week, we will broadcast some more stuff on Apex Racing TV, as you would assume from a broadcasting channel. Tomorrow, we might. No, we're not hosting BSRMX5 Mondays. Don't even ask about that. Shambles. Tuesday, we'll be broadcasting the VRS GT Sprint Series, hopefully at least. Still allocating who's going to do what's on the commentary duties for next season. I mean, it's really difficult for me to say what's actually on next week because we've got so much on the iRacing Esports Network. Subscribe to the iRacing Esports Network. I've said this for the third time, but honestly, we are broadcasting on Monday World GT, Tuesday BSR MX5 Pro Cup. Wednesday we've got the Sim Racers World GT Championship, and on Thursday we've got the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. And I mean, those are 4 of our best broadcasts. So subscribe to the iRacing Esports Network, but just tune in for our races and give a dislike to everyone else's broadcasts if you wouldn't mind. We'd super appreciate that. And yeah, keep an eye out on the Apex Racing TV channel for all our other broadcasts, of course. But for now, from me, from Ryan, and from Marco, we're going to say goodbye, and we'll see you next time.